Hey everyone, this is Emmanuel out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, your emotion code practitioner out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I want to do a very quick message for those of you who are a trainer who has just a lot of people that you're working with and trying to help lose weight and diet, but then maybe there's one or two that for some reason they're not getting the same results as everyone else, but they're doing all the same things. Or this could be just the client or someone who's just, general civilian who's looking to lose weight, and for some reason it just doesn't happen. You've tried everything. You've tried pills. You've tried just eating right. You've tried diet. Maybe you've tried a combination of all of it. For some reason, it just doesn't come off, or when it does come off, it comes back pretty quickly. And so I'm talking to you. Hopefully you can share this message, tag your friends or family, because right now we're moving into the age of intuition. It was the age of information, but now we're moving to the age of intuition. We're noticing that the future of medicine has a lot to do with bioenergetic healing, emotion code, Reiki healing, theta healing, things that you can help at an energetic level to help allow new changes to happen in your life. And so you don't want to negate either or. I think obviously, you don't want to just have somebody heal you energetically and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to sit here with this Twinkie and have a blast watching, House of Cards. You want to do something that obviously you want to go out there, make it happen, but then you have everything energetically working for you. So as again, I work with a practice called Coding Alternative. We're a 5-star practice out here in Las Vegas, but we work remotely. It's kind of an exciting thing that you can kind of work with people in London, Australia, different places. And these are the 5 things that keep showing up. Now there's more. There's obviously more things that could show up in regards to holding you back in regards to your weight, or losing weight. But these are the 5 things that I've noticed. So if you're taking some notes, you might actually appreciate this, because this is, again, something that I commonly see all the time. So the first one is this. I want to tell you about this thing called the heart wall. So what is a heart wall? Heart wall is one of the greatest discoveries in the emotion code. And so what it is if any of you feel free to make a comment below, a 1, if you've ever had a that feeling that your heart hurts or it feels heavy or it feels like it's going to break. Most people have. And what that is you're kind of one step closer to what they call broken heart syndrome or balloon heart. 30 years ago, it was kind of a joke to the medical scientific field. Maybe even 20 years ago, it was still kind of a little bit of hoopla there. But 10 years ago, it's way more accepted in the scientific medical field that emotions, a very intense emotion, can actually drive the heart to feel pain. What's happening in the heart is the tendons are being stretched, and then the heart feels pain, and then if they rip, the heart can collapse, and then you die of BHS. And so Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about, if you don't know this book, this is a good book to reference. If you want to know more about what I'm talking about, look at this book, or go ahead and feel free to watch a video called What is the Emotion Code, 15 minutes, and What is the Heart Wall, 15 minutes. But so there's this heart wall that shows up, and what is this heart wall made out of? Basically, it's these trapped emotions in your body that these little energies the size of a tennis ball or cantaloupe basically get stuck in your body when you have an overcharged emotion. Most people don't know that we have frequency generators in our body, and we feel emotions through our body. But if it doesn't process correctly, it can get stuck in different parts. Liver, for example, is anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment. Hence why when you drink alcohol, what comes out? Anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment. So the thing is when you're developing this heart wall, there's some things that happen. There's symptoms that happen. If you have a very, very thick one, most emotional disorders, PTSD, depression come from a very, very thick heart wall, which means you've received a lot of trauma in your life. Your heart is getting, there's these trapped emotions that are covering your heart to protect it so it stops hurting. So the question is, what stops your heart from hurting? And that's the technology. It's not going to be coming out with you guys. Just giving you a heads up, 20, maybe 30 years from now, that this technology of basically your body, in order to sustain itself and protect itself, it basically borrowed these trapped emotions from the body, placed it over the heart, and then it stopped the heart from hurting. And every single time it started hurting, it's like another layer, and it has an emotion tied to it, like fear, panic, sadness, and things like that. And so as you start getting these walls, these 5 symptoms start showing up. Number 1, a low immune system, low energy. Number 2 is indecisiveness of mission. Number 3 is desensitized heart. You don't really feel much. Number 4 is your love language gets lost in translation. Like what you say, people hear things that are different. Number 5 is abundance issues. But I want to talk about, since we're talking about weight, I don't want to lose you in all this, but I just want to let you know that these are the symptoms of a heart wall. So what happens when a heart wall is created? This thing called a AHE, if you guys are writing this down, it's addictive heart energy. And what this does is basically they said that they've been looking at the clients they've been working with in the emotion code that 42% of people have it. Kind of like the word, like the nice way to say, let's say prostitution, they say escort. Well, a nice way to say AHE is like, I have a very addictive personality. AHE is actually something that your body, it's like an energy, it's trying to compensate for the fact that it doesn't feel much anymore. And so then you get kind of like this addictive cravings, addicted to negative emotions, sugar, food, drugs, alcohol, conflict. It's like this craving energy that comes in, because once that wall keeps building up, guess what? More numb, more numb, more numb. So you're like, okay, my heart's feeling numb. So we need to create this new energy pops up to try to supplement you feeling with your heart. And it could be a smoking addiction, but a big one is cravings, that you start having these cravings and you think that's going to satisfy your heart. So that's number one. And I've removed a few of these energies before, and you can remove them using a magnet, finding out when it was created, just certain information about before you can actually release an AHE. And so, and just because you clear what they call a heart wall, our practice has cleared over 280 heart walls within a year. It doesn't mean the energy is gone. So even if I work with someone and I clear their heart wall and all those 5 symptoms go away, they may still have this addictive heart energy where they have cravings for sugar, for food, and things like that. And that does not help someone in trying to like progress in being fit. So that's number one. We have to remove that AHE. Okay. Number two is a mental image. You can have this. This is regarded in the body code. It's kind of like a higher level of the emotion code. And this mental image is kind of like a trapped picture in your mind. It's like a real energy that's like based. So I want you to picture like this like you're picturing yourself, and it's an image of yourself. And so every time you have these goals, this image keeps showing up, and it seeks to be like validated. So it's looking for things to maintain you in the same way that you're at, like the same perception of who you really are, or who you're not actually. It's this fake image. And so that's a problem, is like if you have this, your body's constantly trying to find ways to sabotage itself to say, go back here, go back here. So again, that's something else you can release using the body code, is a mental image. That's number two. So the first one, guys, is addictive heart energy. Really, it's really hard on people that are trying to progress more if you have all these cravings or like really rough obsessions. Number two is a mental image, picture of like a camera photo roll, and there's like images of you, 15 pounds like higher than you're supposed to be. Okay, and again, it just kind of blocks you. You're looking literally for ways, kind of like when you're buying a car, all of a sudden the car shows up everywhere on the freeway, and you're like, did these cars just come out of nowhere? It's the same thing. This little image is looking for ways to keep you where you're at in regards to fitness. And so it'll be like, yeah, go ahead and have that food, or hey, don't sleep too much, because you have this person doesn't sleep a lot, so don't sleep a lot. So again, it's just this sabotaging energy that's inside of you. Then number three is your thyroid gland could be unhappy. Is that possible? I mean, it sounds kind of like a joke, but inside the body code, I can go in there, and if I start working with the client, it may lead me to the thyroid, like what they call circuits and systems. Then it goes to glands, and then it goes to thyroid. And basically, if you have hypothyroidism, but it's a low function, then that obviously causes fatigue and weight gain. And so that could be an issue, because if it's unhappy, then it's not working properly. So you might be eating the right diet, doing all the workout, but if your thyroid gland is not happy, then and it's usually caused by these trapped energies that don't make it happy. So I have to actually remove those trapped emotions, and then it can finally ask, is it happy? Yes. And happy basically means is that the body is doing what it's supposed to do. And so I think everything in this world has a sort of like a mission, even a rock, like to be the rock, and or the body to maintain a certain homeostasis. It's basically in a happy level. And if it's unhappy, it means there's imbalances in it. And it just needs to remove those energies to get back to happy, so it's functioning properly. So that's number three. It might be a thyroid gland that is unhappy, that no matter what you do, it's going to keep you to have issues with weight gain. Number four, you may have a memory field energy. Memory field energy basically works like you have repetitive events that have happened in your life, and it's constantly in your face. Very similar to the mental image, but this is more of like a memory cloud. So there's image, and then there's memory cloud of all these different times where you're like, Every time I gain weight, I always get it back. Every time I gain weight, I lose it back. Or I have family members that are all diabetic. Oh, here's another diabetic. Here's another diabetic. So it's these memories that keeps you thinking like I'm stuck. And so I have to find out kind of like through muscle testing from a distance, maybe what words we can associate with your memories, and see if it's a repetitive thing or if it's a certain event. Once we find that, then we release it. If it's negative, we have to release it, not put it behind you, but actually release this cloud. Again, it's something else clouding your vision of the goals. It actually gives you problems to move forward in life. That's number 4. The last one is this. It's actually for safety. For safety purposes, your body could be like, I'm not going to lose weight. Consciously, you're like, I want to lose weight. I really want to do it. This is the year. Subconsciously is like, do you remember Liz or Elizabeth or Matthew? That last time you got fit, you actually got into a very toxic relationship. And because of that, you got abused emotionally, physically. We're not taking you back there because my role as a subconscious is to keep you safe. So your extra weight is protection for you so you don't go back into that situation. So I have to ask the person, is there anything holding you back from your healing of losing weight? And the body may say yes. And then I have to remove the trapped emotions, basically the emotional trauma that you've experienced from the body, so the body has peace with that moment and says, okay, I'm ready to move forward and heal as long as that doesn't happen again. And so I have to ask when I'm working with someone, if for some reason I'm not seeing a lot of results, I have to ask that question, hey, does your body actually even want to heal? And sometimes the body says, nope, I don't. It's like, well, why not? Trapped emotions. There's things that it reminds you of that if you do get fit, that you'll go back to a very harmful state, someone harming you. So those are the 5 things again, guys. Addictive heart energy. Obviously, these cravings don't really help. You might think, am I the only one having those cravings? No, you're not. It's if you have a heart wall, which 93% of people have one, then that's why it's going to be kind of a struggle for diets and things like that. It's going to be just a struggle. Number 2, you have a mental image. The way you think of yourself, and you want to like validate it. Everything you do is to validate it because this energy is very, very strong. Number 3, a thyroid gland being unhappy. Number 4, a memory field of like all these memories of either family history of no weight loss or maybe yourself always failing in weight loss. That will actually stand in front of your goal as well. It's like this cloud that shows up. It's an actual energetic cloud, and we have to release it. And the 5th one is for safety, that you are always feeling safe and it doesn't want to bring you back to when you were not safe. And so with that, hopefully you guys appreciated this message. Again, I believe this is the future of medicine, using the emotion code and body code. I think it's a very complete system. And so definitely share this video. Let people know that this thing exists, that there are energetic things that could be holding you back, subconscious things that are keeping you from success with losing weight. And so hopefully you enjoyed this, and look forward to sending you another message soon. Take care. Bye-bye.